All right. Welcome to the Sharp Mind Show, episode 73. I'm Nate, the Fit Future MD, your host. Be sure to shop at answersale.com and pick you up a cool, inspirational t shirt today. All right. Got to start with some football today. And so I don't know who all watched Monday Night Football last night, but what was very noticeable on the Cowboys' first drive in Monday Night Football is that CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens missed the whole first drive, right? And so after going through speculation, like, oh, were they injured or is something wrong? Like, what did they do? Well, the coach decided to bench them for the first drive of the game, right? And obviously, I think if you're not playing the Raiders, you might think something different of this. Luckily, the Raiders are very bad, but it just goes to show that no one is above the rules of the team. Whatever rule they broke, um, they did not specify what rule they broke, but obviously they broke some sort of team rule and were benched for the first drive of the game. As a result, let me know what you think. Like, would you have benched them just for one drive? Would you bench them for a quarter? Not necessarily knowing what they actually did. But like I said, luckily they were playing the Raiders. They have Geno Smith throwing 42 times and Ashton Gentry only rushed 6 times. Like, make it make sense to you because that doesn't make sense to me. You got one of the best running backs coming out of college football, rookie, and you run him only 6 times, only 12 rushes in the whole game. Like, that's why you lost 33-16, especially against this Dallas Cowboy defense that are just get scorched every week. Like, who on your receiving core do you think is some sort of exceptional player that is just going to destroy somebody else's defense when you got the one of the best running backs coming out of college football, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about that. Um, but yeah, just a big surprise there to basically bench CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens for only the first drive on Monday Night Football. All right, this episode is brought to you by Dylan and Davina. The Adventure Begins, which is my best-selling author wife, Meredith Dillon Johnson's book. Be sure to check that out. If you have nieces, nephews, or children of your own, it is the best book written in 2025. I guarantee that. So go check that out. Amazon.com. Click the link below in the description and check out Dylan and Davina. The Adventure Begins. All right. So, Sharp Mind Show. The Sharp Mind Show, we care about our money. So, of course, we look around. We see what's popping, what's not. Obviously, the whole market is down right now. But we see this company called Pax Group, and it's up 48%. And you're like, oh my God, how did I miss this? And basically, this company missed its regulatory filing. And so it announced that it was going to submit the regulatory filings for the SEC tomorrow, November 19th. Submit them late, but they're submitted, right? So gives confidence back to the company. Now, this company is a skilled nursing facility, assisted living facility company, right? It is positive earnings, and it's $15. right? Now, even after going up 48%, it's $15.88 right now in the pre-market. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ugh. But it's $15 in the pre-market right now, and you know, basically we all know that with the baby boomers retiring and getting old, that skilled nursing facilities and all that kind of stuff are going to be at an increase, right? Basically because the ailments that people die from or get old with can't be taken care of in the home, right? So keep that in mind when it comes to this. But basically, this company, back in September, was $7 and now it's $15, right? And so there's companies like this all over. The point of this is that there's companies like this all over the stock market, right? So all you have to do is look and find, right? And so, not financial advice, but if you sign up for life coaching, we can get you on a strategy that'll help you. But you spend 10 minutes a day looking for stuff like this, right? Stuff that's going to go up 48% in a day. Like something that's down because of something, and then they fix the something and it comes back, right? This is the kind of thing that we're looking for. This is how you beat the S&P 500 every year. Let's say, so if you need help setting that up, then hit me up for life coaching. All right. And today in life coaching, we got Sean. And Sean's 41 years old, makes good money, but hides $38,000 in credit card debt from his friends and from his wife. He says, quote, "I'm embarrassed. I don't even know where to begin without admitting I messed up." So, me being in thousands of credit card debt multiple times in my life, number one thing is realizing that you have a spending problem, or you're spending more than you make, or whatever. You have to admit that you have a problem, right? And then, you have to say, is my problem big enough where I'm cutting up the credit cards forever? Or is it something that, it got out of hand and I got to fix it now, right? So the easiest way to get a jump start on this is during tax season when you get a tax refund, right? So you get a jump start on that, you pay off one, and then you can use what you paid off from that one to the next and the next and the next, right? And it's called the debt snowball, right? So you go smallest to largest with your credit card debt, and but that's the biggest way to get the jump start on it, instead of going on a vacation or something like that. You instead take that money and pay off the smallest of the debts, and then use with the payment from the smallest of the debts to start paying off the bigger ones, right? The number Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look to see if we can transfer what's the interest rates on these credit cards, right? Because you're sitting at 21%, it's going to be very difficult to pay them off. So if we can balance transfer that to a 0% interest for a year card, then that's exactly what we're going to do. And then that way you can actually pay down the debt, right? 38,000's a lot, not saying it's definitely like a bigger number for a normal person. It can be paid off. But if you have that high interest then that's going to be a problem. It's going to make it very difficult to pay it off, right? So keep that in mind. But basically, you're going to take it as a triage, right? Okay, so we're bleeding money here. What do we need to do to stop bleeding money? Get rid of the high interest rate if you can, and then use big sums of money to pay them off, right? And then use what you were going to spend on that to pay off the next one, right? So, and that's what you do. Like I say, it's not something to be like this guilt and shame and all this kind of stuff. Like, especially like most of the time that I ran up my credit cards, it was for food, so keep that in mind. Obviously, the government just opened back up and gave people back their SNAP benefits where, you went 18 days, 17 days without SNAP benefits. Like, if you ran up your credit cards, then it is what it is, right? So keep that in mind. And then let's say the last thing I'm gonna say about that is, if you really actually have a problem with credit cards, then cut them up. But if it was just like, oh, okay, I needed credit cards to make it through whatever situation, then okay, we had to use the credit cards. Now we got to fix it, right? So, but we got to fix our mindset and basically say, I am good with money in our affirmations, right? If you don't have affirmations, you can pick mine up for free in the description below on my link tree. That's how important affirmations are. And then you just add that to the affirmations that are there, right? So I am good with money, right? Is what you would say in your affirmations. Let me know what you guys would do in the comments below. You got 38,000 in credit card debt. What you're going to do, obviously, you cannot hide it from your wife, right? So keep that in mind. All right. And then the last thing of the day, which is the quote of the day, and it says, "Comfort is the real addiction." And people get defensive when you say comfort is their addiction, because it's true. Just like I said yesterday, when you point something out to somebody, it's between them and the truth. It's got nothing to do with you, right? Like, the truth is what it is. And the thing is, you cannot change the world by being comfortable, right? You cannot do something great in this life and be comfortable. Like, say, you're going to be working long hours, you're going to be waking up early, you're going to be going to bed late, you're going to lose sleep, if you're doing something big. um you might even blow up a few rockets on the way there, but you just can't make yourself comfortable, because if you're comfortable, then you're not going to be pushing yourself to get to the bigger goal, right? So I'm up every morning 4 a.m. so that I can do this show, so that I can help people, right? I'm not comfortable so that I can help people, right? That's the whole point of this, right? Let's say I didn't, like, yeah, I do talk about some fun stuff like the Cowboys and the Panthers and stuff like that, but we're mostly here to talk about strategy for getting you out of stuff, and um, basically like how to make more money, right? So that you can be financially free, right? So that's what I'm actually here to do. I'm actually here to help you, make you financially free. So if you want personal one-on-one coaching on how to do that, then hit me up for life coaching. I'm Nate, and I'm a life coach. Be sure to shop at InstaSell.com. Pick up a cool inspirational t-shirt today. Use code FitFutureMD for 20% off. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with somebody that needs it. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about each topic. And make sure you pick up my wife's book, Dylan and Davina, The Adventure Begins, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.